Hey folks, so what I'm going to do now is give a demo on how to mix color as well as pointers on how to make each one of your color charts. So things that you will need are have gloves, you may need that, the palette, your canvas pad, palette knife, maybe a scraper, your brushes. I'm probably not going to use brushes for this demo, but definitely you'll probably need them. So before we get started, you need to set up your workspace. As always, on whatever side you write with, you want to have your mixing area and all your materials. And then on the opposite, it's whatever it is you're working on. So I'm left-handed, mine is on the left. When mixing, you don't want to just pile everything in the center here. You notice I have all of my colors laid out so that when I mix, I can just pull from each pile and mix in here. Okay. So hue. So the first thing you have to do is create a color wheel. You need to make a color wheel that has primary, secondary, and tertiary colors, as well as two different swatches. It's up to you. I use complementary and analogous. So I'm here on a piece of canvas paper, right? Color wheel is a circle. I use this old lid from a gesso container. Put it down, just traced it. You can do that. Then just labeled each one ahead of time so I know, where each color goes. And then I created 12 sections, then I labeled each one. So when making your color wheel, the easiest colors to do are the ones that are straight out of the tube. So we can start off with our yellow here. Um, I would say for each one to use the lighter of the colors. So for yellow, I'm not going to use yellow ochre. I'm going to use cadmium yellow. So there's that, right? You have that in there. Oh, also, I forgot to mention this. You want yellow at the top of your color wheel. So that should be the top because it's the color closest to white. Purple is the color closest to black. So yellow's at the top of your color wheel. Remember that when you're setting it up. Okay, what do we have next? We have red. E. So I'm going to use cadmium. That's red. This just helps me know where these primaries. Go ahead and get that out the way. Obviously, you would be painting these in. I'm just doing this for time. And for blue, I'm going to use ceruleum here. All right. Now, you have those colors in. What do we need to make next? Let's go with orange. So you need red and yellow. Some colors are a lot more potent than others. Some are a lot stronger. Red is a lot stronger than yellow. So if you mix a 50-50 combination, you're not going to get the color that you necessarily want. What we're going to do is we're going to pull from your pal, put here. So remember, you're not going to mix on your color wheel. You don't want to do that. And you're not just going to dump these colors in together. You're going to work out all your issues here on your palette first. Then when you have what you need, you'll put this on your color wheel. So I have a little bit of red. I'm going to mix that. And do I like this orange? I'm mixing with let me bring it over some. I think that's a pretty good orange, but I can see, right? Okay, so maybe I want to make this orange a little more yellow. Just add a little more yellow. And what does that get me? I need to add some more. A little bit more. So really like this orange here. So this is going to be my orange. So this is the orange color I'm going to use, right? That's in there. Okay, so now I need to make yellow orange. So I still have this left over. So I don't have to mix a completely new color. But what I do is just add a lot more yellow. And that gets us to a nice, maybe add a little bit more. There you go. That gets us to a nice yellow orange that we can put in here. Actually, I think I want to, let's see if we want to lighten that up even more. Yeah, I think this is even better, this one here. Yeah, I think that's even better. Okay, so if we want to go in the opposite direction, you just add red, right? Any issues I'm having, I'm just going ahead and I'm working them out on the palette. See how strong that red is? It just sort of takes over. So isolate a little section. And it gives me a deep orange there. And maybe I can say it needs a little bit more red. That gives me a nice red orange I can use there. All right. And so you just do that with the rest of the colors. So now we're going to work on value. Here's my example here. If you notice, there's 3 different charts on each one. For each primary color that you have 3 different columns. For each chart, there's tint, shade, tone. Tint is white, shade is adding black, tone is adding gray. So these are 1 by 1 inch squares. You can use a ruler or a triangle, T-square to get these in. They should all be on one page. So let's start with tint, right? Just to show you, let's start with yellow, right? You wanna, as always, you're just pulling from the PAL. Then we're just gonna add some more yellow. I want yellow to be the dominant color in this mixture. So I'm just gonna add a little bit. Let me move this out of the way. So this is yellow here, right? So I'm adding white to this mixture, and this lightens it up. Make sure it's mixed really well. See how I'm using the palette knife? All right, and then you have this color here that's it's a little lighter. And then just continue on. Where this is almost, well, it's not necessarily a 50-50 mixture. It's just a little lighter. That's probably not even light enough. Let's try that some more. Yeah, I like that better. There you go. And then the last mixture is a lot of white. White actually becomes the dominant color of this mixture. Yeah, and then we have use all of the white. I think that's a lot better. Yeah. So that's value. Sorry, that's. So let's look at, and so you just do the same thing with shade. So you just add a little bit of black. So let's now try a different color using shade. Let's go with cerulean blue. So pull cerulean there. And we're just, so what you want for that, right? This is your cerulean as is. And add a little bit of black to that. Black is a really strong color. I'm just going to darken it a bit. Right, it gives us a nice darker cerulean. And then we start to add, we need to add a little bit more cerulean. Then you add a little bit more. That's way too much, right? That's actually probably what the last one will look like. But, you know, you don't have to fret. You just take a little bit here. And there you go. That gives us an even darker cerulean than what we had previously. It may be a little hard to see on the camera. Hopefully you can see that. And then we add in some more black to get our darkest cerulean, which is what we have here. Okay? And that is shade. Finally, we want to work on tone. Tone is going to be a little different in that you're going to mix your grays first, then mix it with the color. So let's work with cadmium. Right, that'll be our base color. I'm going to now, oops, still a little bit of red in there. I'm going to mix a light gray. That's more of a mid-tone gray. Let's lighten it up a bit. I want to get a lighter gray. What I'm gonna do now is just add my red here. Again, right, I'm never mixing here or here. And I'm just gonna mix this gray with this red, which gives me this. This nice color here. And even if it's not exactly the gray that you want, you can still add, you can shift this around or add more to it. The color. There's a nice pink there. So let's try this. And this gives you a very different, still a desaturated grayish red, but it's the hue is a little, right? The value's a little darker. Then mix that up a lot. And then lastly, let's go for black. I'm sorry, it's dark gray. That gives you Yeah, there you go.